Dame fans, TTC, what's going on? Big Sean here. Well, let me just start off by saying, welcome to Notre Dame, Brian Kelly. I couldn't be any more excited to have you here. Now, to any of my fellow Notre Dame fans watching this, I know this isn't exactly news anymore, and I apologize for not having a video out sooner about this, but for the past couple days I've had my hands pretty well tied on some unplanned situations, so I haven't really had a lot of free time to get a video out. But I did see the press conference on Friday, so let's break down this hiring. Now, for starters, out of all the hirings that we've had since Lou Holtz retired back after the '96 season, this is the one hiring that I feel really good about. In the press conference, Coach Kelly seemed to have all the right answers. He had the right approach. Now, the next step is to get it done on the football field, obviously. But no, I mean, the guy's track record says it all. I mean, you guys all saw it. Brian Kelly is notorious for turning programs around and getting them on the winning path. We obviously the recent success that he's had with the University of Cincinnati, won the 2 national championships at Grand Valley State in Division II, turned Central Michigan into MAC champions within a few years, and he really seems to have the balance that it takes to be a head coach, and I think he will be a great fit at Notre Dame. And from listening to him in his press conference on Friday, the one answer that I really liked that he had was that he's going to be involved in all parts of the game, on offense, defense, special teams. He's not going to be one of these one or the other coaches. Because just to briefly break down the past coaches that we've had, Bob Davie. Okay, he was defensive coordinator to Lou Holtz. So he was going to be a more defense-oriented head coach and focus more on the defense. Ty Willingham, I don't know. That's kind of a hard call. I mean, for the first couple of games when we had Ty, we went 2-0, but that was all without scoring an offensive touchdown. It was all defense and special teams, and we didn't score our first offensive touchdown that season until week 3 against Michigan. So that says it all right there, that he was more, I don't know, that's really hard to judge, because with his offenses would have their good days and their bad days, but his defenses seem to be pretty consistent, so I guess Ty Willingham could be more of a defensive kind of coach. Then we get Charlie Weiss, and as we all know, the guy is, he's really focused more on the offense. He was the offensive coordinator as well as the head coach, and the defense showed that. But, no, Brian Kelly I think he will be a great fit to get Notre Dame into an all-around balanced team on both sides of the ball, not just one or the other. So, I do like that approach. And another thing that I wanted to comment on is, and naturally, of course, there's a lot of disappointed Cincinnati Bearcat fans, and nobody can really blame them. I mean, just after they go 12-0, they win the Big East championship for the second consecutive year, and they show up in their second consecutive BCS bowl, and this year in the Sugar Bowl against Florida, and your coach leaves and decides he's going to take a job elsewhere. I can understand how a lot of people would be pissed off about that. But at the same time, Kelly even said it himself in his press conference, and I give the man props on this, because even though he did tell his players that he wasn't going anywhere and so on and so forth, and everyone seemed to be, all his players thought that he was going to be committed to Cincinnati, he still did give them props, and he said in his press conference that if it wasn't for what his guys at Cincinnati did on that field, that he wouldn't have gotten this opportunity at Notre Dame. And that is kind of true. I mean, Cincinnati and those players, Marty Gilliard and all those guys, they opened up this job opportunity for him. And I mean, but at the same time, it does, him leaving Cincinnati early and instead of waiting until after the bowl game to announce that he was leaving, where it's good for both teams is in the following ways. One, he's made the announcement well before the bowl game. He's in South Bend now, or at least in the process of moving to South Bend, and he's going to be able to get started on recruiting for Notre Dame and stuff like that. And that way, Cincinnati's not going to be distracted for the Sugar Bowl against Florida. And as I just said, it's also good for Notre Dame because he can get to work right away, get started on recruiting, getting to know the players. And reason that I'm mentioning this is actually that this was brought to my attention, this situation. Well, it's not really a situation, but there's a young YouTuber out here on YouTube called, he goes by the screen name McCartney Fans 001. And, he's a kid, but he seems to know a lot about his sports. And he told me about a video that was made by another user on here who goes by the screen name Gun Lover 2010. And in Gun Lover, in his recent video, he said that Brian Kelly was his, I think he said Douchebag of the Week award or something like that. Now, first off, let me just say this. To Gun Lover, if you catch this video, I am not criticizing you. I'm not putting you down in any way. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what you had to say and your opinions and all that. Now, what you even said this to yourself in your video, that Brian Kelly's not the first coach to just up and leave on a team. I mean, let's continue the trend with Cincinnati. I mean, Mark D'Antonio, for example, he's told his team the same thing. He wasn't going anywhere, but as soon as he got an offer to coach a team in the Big Ten, he was out the door faster than a bullet. And let's go non-college football related. Let's talk about the major leagues. Now, I understand you're a Yankee fan. I'm not putting down the Yankees, but perfect example of being a traitor, if you call it, or backing out on your team would be Johnny Damon. I mean, as we all know, Johnny Damon was a big part of the Red Sox beating the Yankees in the 2004 ALCS and going on to win the World Series. Well, Damon said on numerous occasions he would never become a Yankee. Well, the very next year, what happens? He signs a contract with the New York Yankees. So it happens a lot. I'm not saying anything that you didn't already say, Gun Lover, but it's true. It happens all the time, and in situations like these, there's always going to be someone that's left with a bad taste in their mouth, so to speak. But if anything, to any Cincinnati fans who's watching this, I am not putting you guys down, and I hope you guys don't take offense to what I'm going to say, but if anything, you should take that as a compliment that Notre Dame wanted Brian Kelly enough that bad because he's that damn good of a coach. I mean, look at it this way. As much as I hate saying this, look who's playing in the BCS Bowl, and look who's not. As much as that pains me to say, but it's true. But no, I mean, it just goes to show that Notre Dame wanted Brian Kelly that bad, and they got him. And Kelly even said himself that it was his dream job, and so he just simply took advantage of it. And now I know I'm the biased ND fan saying all this, but it's just rational. I mean, he saw this as a great opportunity and he took it. And as a Notre Dame fan, I'm happy to have him because that's a big thing that this team needs, is a coach that can that can develop a balanced team. And I don't know about you guys, but I want to win. I want to see some winning seasons. I'm tired of all these 6-6 years and seeing these teams that are great on one side of the ball, and are lousy on the other. And this year was, the offense was outstanding. And any of my sworn enemies will say the same thing. Notre Dame had an amazing offense, and nobody's going to tell me anything different. And it was our defense that was lousy this year. I mean, great offense, lousy defense. When both aren't on the same level, of course we're going to be a 500 team. But so yeah, to sum everything up, I see this as a great hiring for Notre Dame. I do feel that Brian Kelly will succeed for us and get us back on track. But obviously we won't know until next September. So that's really all I can say. Once again, welcome to Notre Dame, Brian Kelly. So that being said, this is Big Sean. Catch you guys later.